Good morning, everyone. I just received green light that I can start sharp, so it's 11:30. Welcome to all the participants to this live event to present our EFSA traineeship experience. And whether you are joining us from the heart of Italy or from the corners around the globe, we are really delighted to have you here today. And over the next hour, we will be diving into opportunities and experiences that await you within ESSA's traineeship experience. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you, whether you are a recent graduate or simply curious about what EFSA traineeship has to offer. Stay with us to learn all about it. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm Carolina Pereira. I'm Portuguese. I'm the EFSA's traineeship coordinator, and I work in HR in the talent management team, and I will be guiding you today with some help. So wait and see. And now, just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. As you might have seen, you are automatically connected to this audio broadcast. It's one-way audio, listening only mode, but nevertheless, please feel free to interact and submit your questions in English. You can use the Q&A chat that you will find right on the right up corner. We really trust our session. We'll be answering the majority of your questions, and please bear in mind that there will be a dedicated slot at the end. This event is being recorded, and of course, the recordings will be available to you and it will be published on our EFSA's website after the event. Last but not least, after the event, tell us how we did. You will receive a link to a dedicated feedback survey, and we really ask your support. Please take the survey and help us to further improve. And now, let's see what's on the menu. Today, our event is divided in three key parts. In the first part, we will start by discovering EFSA. Then we will move on to our specific traineeship, annual traineeship call. And this will be, of course, your chance to learn more about what's required, the application process, and also what to expect. The second part will also include the traineeship experience. So we will have a few of our current trainees sharing their experiences, their first-hand experiences, and perhaps also some challenges that they are facing and that they are living now at EFSA during their traineeship experience. Last but not least, it will be time for your questions. And of course, in this final section, we will address any queries you may have about EFSA, the traineeship, or anything else on your mind. Don't be shy. Please bear also in mind that if there will be any outstanding questions, do not worry. We will make sure to address all of them and publish together with the recordings after the event. So now I do hope you are curious about this menu, and I wish you a wonderful moment ahead. Let's start by discovering who is EFSA, what do we do, who we are. So here you see immediately our mission, our vision. The European Food Safety Authority is really the reference body for risk assessment of food and feed in the European Union. We are an agency set up in 2002. Wow, quite a long time ago, to serve as an impartial source of scientific advice and to communicate on risks associated with the food chain. Our purpose is, of course, as you can see, to help ensure a high level of consumer protection, improve the EU food safety system, and ultimately restore and maintain confidence in the EU food supply. How do we work? How do we achieve this mission? Well, I like to start by saying, food needs dedication. And really, EFSA deals with food safety right across the food chain, from farm to fork. We take into account animal health and welfare, plant health, and the environment. Of course, ultimately helping to protect human life. And the core of our activities is really to collect, to appraise, and integrate scientific evidence to answer questions about potential risks. We advise, we collaborate, we communicate. What we don't do, some of you might be asking, but how do you do that? Do you have any labs? No, we do not have any labs in our premises. We do not develop food safety policies or legislation. We do not enforce food safety legislation. Now, let me walk you a bit through our values, because this is the second aspect I like to pass on. Food needs dedication and food needs values. All our activities and how we work together are guided by our values of excellence, independence, openness, accountability, and cooperation. And when we mention excellence, for us, the key message is really for you to understand that we deliver rigorous and reliable risk assessment, building, of course, on the latest scientific advances. When it comes to independence, well, quite straightforward, right? We must ensure impartiality of our scientific outputs. Our risk assessments and communications are accessible and understandable to all, so our openness value. Accountability, of course, we keep in mind that we serve the public interest, working to deliver improvements in food safety. And finally, cooperation. And we see collaboration as really the only way we have to master the complexities of the present and the future. We invest, of course, in building long-term partnerships for mutual benefit. And these values actually sustain our working values, our working culture, as we can see right in the next slide. So you will see that to nurture these relations, we really cooperate intensively with member states via the advisory forum, the national focal points, and also organizations. Likewise, we work with other EU agencies, international organizations, and also risk assessors in third countries to really increase the outreach and joint food safety impact. One of the questions that you anticipated to us when registering to this event was about this One Health approach, right? That now is really part of our working culture. And if maybe you couldn't follow, but in a recent conference, our chief scientist said something about the extraordinary challenges our planet faces today requires extraordinary efforts. And building a safe and sustainable food system in Europe is one such challenge, which of course will require collaboration, coordination, communication, and capacity building. And in other words, it will require a One Health approach. EFSA and of course our sister agencies have and are committed to working together to provide this much needed joined up scientific advice. And of course, joining forces to meet these challenges is now a key aspect of our culture, starting from within. You can't see, I'm currently at EFSA, and here we really celebrate diversity and inclusion, and we do ensure that everyone's voice is heard. We believe in ongoing feedback, really to support our individual and organizational growth and collaboration. This is our DNA. And let's see, in the next slide, my third message. So you remember, food needs dedication, food needs values, and of course, food needs people, right? And we have one mission, but many roles. And everyone at EFSA has a role to play in achieving our mission, from scientists to communication specialists, also to colleagues supporting our daily business. At EFSA, we are all dedicated to food and its safety. By now, you might be asking about your people. Well, Let me share some figures with you. EFSA, I would say, is a growing agency. We were set, as mentioned, back in 2002, and currently we are approximately 570, 600 staff. Our team is international and diverse. We also work together with 1,500 experts and a lively community of approximately 120 trainees per year. This is amazing. The day-to-day management of EFSA is the responsibility of the executive director, with the support of heads of department, heads of unit, our chief scientist, Carlos, and the senior policy advisor. You can see in this slide how we are organized within the organization. We have different departments. So as an example, you have the Empower department providing via a partnering approach services and solutions, ensuring, of course, governance and accountability, efficient use of our resources. And here you will find units such as human resources, finance, and also legal affairs. The SS department produces advice, opinions, peer reviews, but also technical reports to support the EU decision makers. The next department, the Enable department, delivers services enabling, supporting and guiding the risk assessment production, and promoting also integration and synergies between the areas, the sectoral areas, and ensuring the quality and efficiency of our scientific processes. Last but not least, the Engage department. Communication, the engagement, the cooperation with our audience, with our stakeholders, with the organizations and institutions, always with a strategic partnership approach, which help us continuously improve our reputation and ensuring, of course, our preparedness, our readiness to accept and to address the future challenges. I would like also to show you just in very briefly, because you might say, okay, but you mentioned 120 trainees. Yes, we currently have a lively community of approximately 120 trainees. The average age is 27. We currently have trainees from 20 EU nationalities and 15 non-EU nationalities. And where do we work? I think you all know that we are in Italy, and our headquarters are in the center of Parma, in the region called the Food Valley of Italy. And I guess you might have heard about Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and Parma ham. Well, they're all here. And moreover, we are very close from important cities such as Bologna, Milano, and guess what? In 2 hours, you can also visit Florence, the Ligurian coast. So it's really, really convenient. A really nice city to live and work. Let's move on to the next topic. I think a bit the topic that you were all looking for. We will now explore some further details of our 2024 traineeship call. And I would like to start with the key ingredients, the eligibility, what is required. So first of all, a university degree of at least 3 years by the closing date of the application. Do not forget this aspect. The 29th of April is the closure, and by that date, you need to have a university degree of at least 3 years. Have a very good knowledge of English, which of course is our working language at EFSA. The traineeship call is open to all EU citizens, and there is also a limited number of places allocated to non-EU citizens, approximately 15%. Should they be selected, the non-EU candidates, they will have to obtain a relevant visa prior to the start of the traineeship. As you can see, to be eligible, you must have never been an EFSA trainee before or employed at EFSA, But if you are a trainee in another institution or in another agency, you are eligible to apply. And what do we look for in our candidates? Well, in alignment with EFSA's values I've mentioned to you before, we look for individuals that demonstrate strong teamwork skills. Apologies. As collaboration is integral to our work environment, effective communication is also crucial, as trainees must convey their ideas clearly and engage with our diverse stakeholders. Critical thinking, highly valued, as trainees are actually tasked to analyze complex issues and proposing innovative solutions as well. Last but not least, adaptability, another essential trait we look for, as our dynamic environment really requires individuals who can thrive through change. We live in a fast-paced environment. And finally, we value proactivity. Of course, people who are able to take initiative and demonstrate a drive to learn and grow while they're here with us. And these qualities ensure that, of course, our trainees can make meaningful contributions to EFSA and also grow within their personal and professional capacity. In return, what we offer, well, EFSA is committed to providing our trainees with a comprehensive full experience, so 12 months, where learning and networking opportunities are really prioritized, I would say, across all the areas. Through various initiatives, trainees will have the chance to expand their knowledge, develop their skills. We really emphasize this aspect, the on-the-job learning. Every day, trainees have the opportunity to do something that will help them grow professionally. Additionally, trainees will receive a competitive traineeship grant, of course, to support them during their experience. Each trainee will also be assigned a dedicated mentor, providing guidance and support throughout their journey here with us at EFSA. Finally, we do recognize the importance of maintaining healthy work-life balance. And we do strive to create an environment where not only our staff, but all EFSA family can cherish and appreciate both personally and professionally. And in the next slide, we can start having a look at the different areas where across the organization our trainees are allocated. So, for example, here you have some areas of interest in science. Just bear in mind that all our trainees contribute to the specific units and departments agenda, of course, by supporting in drafting documents, analyzing data, handling scientific and or administrative tasks. And of course, overall, they also contribute to the planning and monitoring of each unit's activities. The current list of areas of interest that all of you have found or will see when applying, these areas of interest are of course based on the alignment with EFSA's business needs and should be really straightforward. You can be reassured that our team made all efforts to ensure that all these areas are presented in a simple and clear manner, really facilitating common understanding, and each area is designed to be intuitive, reflecting the main focus and the objectives of this respective field. You can see here some examples. So, for example, within the SS department, within the units, you see pesticides, you see GMOs, animal nutrition, while, for example, in Enable, you see other areas of interest like process planning, collaboration, monitoring of scientific workflows, the front desk, the support and communication to business operators, but also areas such as bioinformatics and cheminformatics. We also have specific areas within the communication departments, like the scientific capacity building and partnerships, the community management, and areas of interest within the management services department. And here, apart from human resources, legal affairs, you have also financial services, but you also find assurance and audit, infrastructure and building maintenance. So all the areas are really very straightforward and ensuring that there is a common understanding for you when applying. And now, you might already have started your application. Let's just see the process very briefly. I will just ask your patience. We need just to click on the play. So the first thing, of course, candidates will apply electronically via the online recruitment tool, and you will select 2 areas of interest. You can update or withdraw your application at any time until the closure of the call on the 29th of April. First thing, really, it's really important that you take time while preparing your application. Read our vacancy. Don't do things in a rush, okay? But also don't wait for the last day. Okay, so this is extremely important. Make your application really easy to read. Break things down. Use short sentence and also short paragraphs. Don't be afraid to use bullet points. Avoid too many details and really make it make it unique. You will also have the opportunity to indicate your motivation, and this for us is really a key aspect, because this is the moment where you will tell us who you are and focus on what makes you unique. No one has the same skill set and background than you do, so take the time to determine what makes you unique. Think through the expertise and experiences you have and how they make you an ideal candidate for EFSA's traineeship program. As a second, of course, you can see here before submitting, just make sure that you review and then submit before the deadline. As a next step, all the eligible candidates will be screened by EFSA's units, considering the candidates' preferences and, of course, their competencies. After the CV screening, imagine that you are selected for an online pre-recorded video interview. Well, if that's the case, congratulations. During the interview, it's really important to be, again, clear and concise. While presenting your experience, focus on this simple and still effective STAR technique. The STAR stands for S, situation. Tell us the context at the time of your experience. The T stands for the task, what you needed to do, what were you requested to do. The A stands for action, how you did it, and O, what were the results, how it turned out, and any lesson learned. When you will be preparing for the recorded interview, no worries, you will always have time to read the question, to prepare, and then to answer. And as a result, candidates can be selected or placed also in a reserve list for future positions, and successful candidates before the summer will receive a traineeship placement offer. Okay, stating the start date, the unit, all the documents that they will need to provide. Just here, please note that trainees are only insured against the risks of accidents according to the EFSA insurance policy. EFSA does not provide health insurance for trainees, so you must provide evidence that you are covered in the event of illness by, of course, your national social security. Just to wrap up the next slides, you can see the next steps. So just in a nutshell, apply by the 29th of April. Between May and June, there will be the pre-selection and interviews, including, of course, what I've mentioned to you before, the pre-recorded interview. then in July, we hope that we will be able to provide the outcome to all our applicants. And finally, we will welcome our new trainees between October and November 2024. Well, I think that now it's enough of me. Let's hear from the real stars of the show, our current trainees. They will share their first-hand experiences. Did you remember I told you I would have some help today? So I think it's time for her. Ruta, a current trainee, moderating this section with me. Ruta, I'm passing the floor to you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Carolina. I'm Ruta, Lithuanian trainee, currently working in dynamic field of human resources. I'm actually very happy today because I have this chance to engage with my colleagues, fellow trainees who come from different countries, who work in different departments and teams, and who are willing to share their experiences. So maybe without further ado, I would like to turn to a colleague and also a good friend that I made during my traineeship, Brady, who literally come from another part of the world, New Zealand. So I have a question for you, Brady. I'm very curious if you could share with our participants what inspired you to come to EFSA, to choose EFSA, to come from New Zealand, and also if you could share a bit of your experiences here.
So hi everyone, as Ruta said, I'm Brady, I'm from New Zealand and I'm in the Human Capital Unit, or HUCAP as it's known in EFSA, specifically in the head unit team. And the head unit team is responsible for all things human resources such as talent management, career management, learning and development, and making sure everyone knows their rights and obligations. It's our mission to help empower EFSA's employees from day one and throughout their entire EFSA career journey. Now, when I first saw the opportunity and what brought me here was that I'm from originally a rural part of New Zealand that is heavily reliant on agriculture. So when I saw the opportunity to be a trainee and work in the food valley of Italy, I thought, how could I not? My time as a trainee here has been a wonderful experience. My tasks have mainly been split between two areas. Firstly, I've been working on internal communications, crafting content for the EFSA intranet and keeping everyone in the loop on all things HR, but also doing things such as updating policies, procedures, and working on annual reports with my advisor. I guess one thing about EFSA, it's not just ticking off tasks or little jobs here and there. The EFSA employees give you a chance to gain valuable experience in various projects across different teams. In total, I've thoroughly enjoyed my experience at EFSA. For the people I work alongside in my unit, they've created an environment of learning and development, and these people have truly shaped my experience. When you're a trainee, as previously said, you get an advisor that accompanies you throughout your entire EFSA journey. One of your advisor's role is to guide and promote continuous learning and development. And for me personally, this has been a huge benefit of the program. My advisor has provided endless support and kindness, and this highlights a wider cultural trait at EFSA. Additionally, being surrounded by 120 other trainees who share similar interests and passions is definitely a reason to apply. Now, that's my piece, and I'll give it back to you, Ruta, here. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thanks a lot, Brady. Actually, I see that your words confirm that EFSA empowers its employees, including us trainees, from the first day, offering support, guidance, and also opportunity to work on a variety of tasks. So now I would like to pass the floor to Josephine, who is currently working in the communication unit in the Engage department. Josephine, could you please share with us why you decided to join EFSA and how you like it so far?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ruta. Yes, my name is Josephine and I'm from Germany and I'm currently working in the communication unit in the Engage department, like you said. And yes, before doing the traineeship, I have already worked 1.5 years in a communication agency, but I was missing a bit of international experience since I wasn't able to go abroad during my studies. And yes, I always had in mind as well to work for the public sector, and the opportunity of working in a European agency seemed like the perfect opportunity for me. And yes, my application finally was successful, luckily, and here I am now. Yes, then as I've said, I'm working in the communication unit, more specifically in the digital publishing team. This team is basically, again, divided in 2 sub-teams, which I'm both supporting. And yeah, one is the EFSA journal team. Here we support the scientists to publish all the scientific outputs which they were working on. And the other team is the web team, where we are basically publishing everything what you can find on the EFSA website. And here I'm also involved in different projects, like the Design Guidelines project, in which we are constantly trying to improve our digital products and yeah, the user experience. Or moreover, I'm supporting with analyzing feedback we get via our feedback form we have implemented on our website. And yeah, and I'm also supporting a bit with more administrative tasks, like procurement of products we need for the unit. And yeah, so I'm getting also a bit experience in project management. We're also working very close with the other teams in the comms unit. This is strategic comms and coordinated comms, and the colleagues here are planning more our communication activities and analyzing the audiences, or dealing with campaigns, social media, editorial tasks, or media requests. Yes, and so far I've learned already a lot of new things while working here in the comms unit, and I was also able to deepen my skills, and you get to understand a bit better how an EU institution like EFSA works and how diverse processes here can be. On a more thematic or content level, I already gained a lot of knowledge about user experience and the improvement and assessment of quality of digital products. And yes, I've also learned how the editorial process of content production and distribution works in an institution like EFSA, and how many colleagues are involved here to guarantee a safe distribution of risk communication on food safety topics. Yeah, and besides my learning so far, I really appreciate the positive environment here of EFSA, all the supportive colleagues. They are all willing to show you a lot of new things and want you to take the most out of your experience here. And yeah, I also really enjoy the big trainee community. You can make friends from everywhere, and yeah, especially the aperitivo after work or at the weekends with the other trainees are really nice, and you can enjoy the nice Italian food. So yeah, with this, I give it back to you, Ruta. Thank you.
Thank you, Josephine. Actually, aperitivo, Italian food, and also trainee communities, things that I can relate to. I really personally enjoy my traineeship because of those reasons. But of course, traineeship in EFSA for sure offers a valuable international experience, as I said, and also opportunities to learn and grow. So we've seen Brady from HR, Josephine from communication. Now I would like to invite Neil, who has studied animal science, and today he's currently supporting EFSA's animal welfare team. So Neil, could you tell us what brought you to EFSA, and maybe you could provide a bit brief overview of your team's responsibilities and of course of your work here.
So, hi everyone. My name is Neil. I am from a small island in Malta, in the middle of the Mediterranean. And as Ruta said, I am working with the animal welfare team. So, generally, brief overview, we all know how the importance of animal welfare has become over the past years. So that's what our team works on, where we look at providing insights and publishing scientific opinions and technical reports on the welfare issues which animals have to deal with. We also look at the current practices which we do throughout the European Union, and from those we identify the welfare consequences, so the problems which these animals have to face, and then we find possible ways how they can be mitigated or even better prevented. But we don't just focus on farm animals. So for production, we also focus on non-production animals, which has something been done very recently. And we published opinions related to cats and dogs, for instance. And for instance, myself, at the moment, I am working on animals used for fur production. So that is minks, foxes, and chinchilla. So quite a particular topic, I would say. What brought me to EFSA? I have always been interested in stuff happening in the European level, also policies and legislation. And when I started to learn more about EFSA, I discovered that EFSA is the basis for regulations related to the safety of the food chain. So they contribute for the starting blocks to have new laws. Additionally, in my previous work experience, I also collected data which EFSA used to analyze. And then after I finished my master's, I saw this potential opportunity and what better way to get yourself merged into something which you had an idea of. So I applied as a trainee with EFSA to get a better understanding at a deeper level. Now, at the moment, myself, I carry out literature analysis to provide summaries of the topics I'm working on, so minks and foxes, for instance. And I also contribute in identifying experts and researchers who are working in this field. And I communicate with them frequently when it comes to the meetings which we have organized together to discuss these topics. I also assist in planning, the scheduling, the accessibility to these meetings by these experts. And from time to time, I also prepare documents and the information which we'll discuss together. And after the meetings, I also provide the minutes of these meetings and then reanalyze what the experts have discussed and rewrite what has been said. So far, it has been a positive experience, and it is a good thing because from what you studied, you can see it on how it is implemented at a scientific level, so in more depth, and you can also be part of this project, so be part of what was going on, and you can also develop more your team working skills, but from a different perspective, because now it's different than working with colleagues who are classmates, now you're working with scientists who are professionals in the field. Overall, I would say this is a great opportunity to discover and explore if working within European context is something for you, something for your career. So not just EFSA, but also you can discover all other institutions within the European level. And this can be like a stepping stone to get into the European level, maybe European Parliament, European Commission, etc. There's also a great opportunity to meet new people from different backgrounds, but also from your field of studies. And I would say myself at the moment I am calling from the Netherlands. So the traineeship also allows allows flexibility to work from abroad or remote working. So it is not that fixed to always be in the office. And overall, I can say that Parma is in the north central area of Italy, so it is very easily connected to other big cities such as Bologna and Milan, which of course allows the flexibility to travel around Italy and explore, what the beautiful Italy has to offer. Yeah, that is all from my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Actually, yeah, I really like that EFSA offers this flexible working arrangements, and also I hear you that you can gain hands-on experience in research and analysis and explore potential career paths within European context, which is, I think, for young professionals is very important. Thanks again for your insights and contributions. And now let's move to another speaker, Tine, who will discuss her role in the iData unit or iData unit. Tine, floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you and good morning. So my name is Tine. I'm from Belgium and I grew up in Leuven, which is a city that is close to Brussels. So as Ruta said, I am a trainee in the iData unit of the Enable department. And iData's role involves overseeing the collection, the management and the analysis of data that is, for example, related to biological and chemical hazards in food and feed. Additionally, iData also supports in coordinating scientific networks and managing databases within EFSA. Now, after graduating last year, I was looking for an international experience and an opportunity to learn new skills that were a bit outside of my study background. And this traineeships offers entry-level positions for recently graduated students with very good guidance in an international setting. So you could say that the traineeship was for me a good match. So far, my experience in iData unit has been a hands-on experience where I've been able to develop new skills. I would consider here both hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills apply more to my tasks related to data management itself, where I had the opportunity to learn how to work with different data management programs such as Python, Git, Power BI, Azure DevOps, and also I was able to follow many trainings that were provided by EFSA. Regarding soft skills, this applies more to, of course, the interaction with colleagues on a daily basis, where you can join meetings with both your colleagues or external stakeholders. And here, clear communication and collaboration are key skills that I have learned by or observing or actively participating in these meetings. Now, another key point that was very important for me that I learned in the last months is to be proactive. In the beginning of the traineeship, your main tasks and goals for the year are defined together with your line manager and your supervisors. But next to these tasks, it is very important to take initiative, to participate in projects that align with your interests or to learn new skills that you personally would like to develop. As EFSA is an environment with many very highly educated people and knowledgeable people who are happy to learn their knowledge and from who you can learn a lot. Let's say a more specific example of a task or a project that I have been working on was a project together with 2 other trainees to create a Power BI dashboard for food additives. This project has allowed me to learn a lot about data analysis and management, and also to work with a tool called Power BI, which is used for data visualization. This project here we had the opportunity also to present to external stakeholders and the European Commission. So it has not only been very learnful, but me and the other trainees, we had a lot of fun and we really enjoyed our time collaborating. Of course, outside of work, I've really enjoyed my time so far here in Italy. Since every year a very large group of trainees start in EFSA, it is very easy to meet new people when you are moving from abroad and to adapt to the new environment. Certainly, coming to Italy has been great to discover new places and travel around with other trainees. For me personally, I love to spend time more outdoors. So here in Italy has been a great improvement compared to the landscape in Belgium, and certainly aperols for €5 is a big plus. So please, if you would have more questions, don't hesitate. And now I give the floor back to Ruta. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Actually, I also like gelato and aperitivo and the Italian landscape, so it's another reason why to join EFSA. But of course, indeed, it gives you also opportunity, as I mentioned, develop both technicals and more soft skills, to collaborate on meaningful projects, to develop other skills, to work with colleagues, to be in an environment where your proactivity, as I mentioned, is really appreciated. And now, last but not least, I would like to introduce Francesca, who will talk about her involvement as a trainee in the Executive Director's Office. Francesca, could you shortly present yourself and also what have you been doing there?
Yes, thank you, Ruta. Hello, everyone. I'm Francesca, and as Ruta said, I work at the Executive Director's Office, more precisely in policy coordination. So actually, I'm very lucky because my tasks are very varied. So I cannot really plan sometimes what I'll be doing every week even. So in policy coordination, me and my boss specifically, we work more on providing, let's say, more sturdy development of EFSA as an organization. So we look more into strategic forward future. For example, we try to see what can be improved. So we talk a lot with different departments. I work a lot with the senior management in EFSA. And of course, it's also a big part of this requires political discussions, political consensus. Indeed, we talk a lot, we engage a lot with the European Commission, specifically DG Sante, which is our parent DG. in Brussels. Yes, but not only, we also work with the public local institutions. So indeed, I work with the Emilia-Romagna region, the local region here, where Parma is located, with local European institutions, so a bit also with Brussels. And we try to spread the word around the even universities or local schools about EFSA. So, for example, I had the opportunity lately, and I will continue to do so, to have presentations in schools, middle schools and high schools locally about EFSA. That was a good opportunity for me to own, but also refine. It was quite challenging at times to speak in front of like 60 plus students, so with a microphone on a stage and stuff. But yeah, since it's quite varied what I do, the main challenge that I had to face was to be on top of things, I have to say. And that required a lot of like good organization and time management skills. So that was what I was looking for. So indeed, like I have to say that, yeah, so far this experience met my expectations. And I had to be quite proactive so far, indeed, quite adapt to, new requests. For example, I had to work a lot when it came to events organizations. Sometimes we have big local institutional events here at EFSA. For example, we had the president of the Emilia-Romagna, the local region here, and just last week the foreign Italian minister. So yeah, I also had to work a bit in with another unit here about event organization. So very learnful experience. But yeah, it's been very agreeable also because of the environment around here. Every day I come to the office and I talk also on behalf of my colleagues, my close by colleagues, the other trainees. Yes, they felt very welcome. They felt very supported by the staff, especially some that came outside of Europe. Yes, everybody has a human touch, even if it can be very quite fast-paced, the work environment that we are in. Yes, and I mean, I can only connect to what the other trainees have said, especially Josephine praising, but all the others, and Ruth as well, gelato and aperitivo. I lived abroad for many years, so having the opportunity to cool down after a long working day with aperitivo, especially now in springtime, it's been very enjoyable. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask any questions later, also directly to me. And thank you. I give back the floor to Ruta.
Okay, thanks very much. I really appreciate your insights. And what I can say, EFSA provides exposure to a huge variety of tasks, and your experience showed that it's from policy coordination to event organization. You also can develop your organization, type management, public speaking skills. And I don't know, what can I say? I think that everyone in one way or another has a role to play in achieving our mission to ensure food safety in European Union. And this part is over here, and now I'm passing floor back to Carolina, who is going to finish with the Q&A.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, we are already almost at the end. And indeed, let's spice things up as we head into the Q&A moment. I know it's not quite a game show with buzzing and buzzers, but it's still your chance to get those questions answered. So ready, set, Q&A. I will do my best to address some of the common questions. I told you at the beginning that I would have some help, and by now you have seen my colleagues really being close to you behind the scenes and answering a vast majority of questions. So we can start having a look at those and see if there is anything outstanding. Again, please feel free to submit any additional questions. We will ensure that they can also be addressed after the event. So I'm looking now at all the questions that have been published. Some of them are already answered. So let me have a look at maybe those that have not been answered yet. Is it possible for a candidate to be chosen from an area rather than those indicated as a preference? Well, yes, indeed. These areas, of course, will support the selection process, and in particular, the first screening, but of course considering also motivation and competencies, and doing the comparison and the match with our business needs, it can happen that a candidate might be proposed for selection in another area. Of course, if this is the case, you will of course have the chance to discuss with EFSA before accepting. I have a question. How can we know the description? For example, I want to go for toxicology. How can I know the description of this unit? Okay, this is a very good question, because let me clarify that the areas of interest, so we have 57 areas of interest, so we have positions in all these 57 areas. They do not correspond, it's not one area equals to one unit, okay? One unit can have more than one area of interest. And in this case, I'm thinking, indeed, toxicology is one of the areas of interest, for example, for our unit dealing with the nutrition and food innovation. So toxicology, novel foods, GMOs, human nutrition are all areas within this remit. Of course, I don't pretend to know, will not pretend to know everything, but by now I know that toxicology is really also a key area, and also transversal. So it can be that indeed candidates choosing this area might be their application might be considered in different for different units and business needs. What are the career prospects for trainees after the traineeship? So thank you for this question. It's indeed something that we don't put in the presentation, but we are very also happy to inform you that our former trainees have been successful throughout the years in a selection process from other EU agencies, institutions, but also in getting exciting jobs in the private sector. Trainees are also an important pool for our interim procedures. Actually, trainees represent also, I would say, approximately 20% of our candidates to junior position calls. Another question regarding assurance and audit. Is this finance? Okay, so assurance and audit is an area that stays in the remit of our global performance services, together with corporate planning and monitoring. And here we are talking about tasks to ensure the effectiveness of EFSA's management systems and their compliance with EU and international standards through integrated risk analysis and internal control activities. Another question. Oh, EFSA to Africa. Okay, here, let me see if something comes to, okay, it comes to my mind, for example, the African swine fever. So EFSA and our experts have provided scientific advice on African swine fever numerous times over the past years by assessing the risk of introduction and different control strategies, looking at the role of vectors and outdoor pig farms, and also providing surveillance recommendation for the absence of disease. And I actually remember that since maybe 2020, 2019, EFSA has run 3 editions of the campaign Stop African Swine Fever in partnership with local authorities, of course, of the targeted countries. And the campaign aims, of course, at producing and distributing informative material about the disease and how to prevent its introduction and control it. Question more linked with eligibility. Does EFSA provide visa sponsorship for non-EU residents? Here, not really sure if we have a common understanding of sponsorship, but we do do our best to facilitate the communication with the embassies by providing formal documents, so as formal letters confirming the traineeship, the duration, and all the necessary information that can facilitate the request of the visa. Let's see, I'm looking at more questions. Okay, are there any preferences? Okay, we've mentioned that we have indeed some limited posts, but we do have approximately 50% availability for non-EU candidates. Okay, can we get these slides? Yes, of course. Okay, I see my colleague doing an amazing job answering all your questions already in the chat directly, so I just don't want to go over it. Okay, also the communication, the accommodation. Thank you, Melita, for providing information to our participants. Okay, let me see other questions. Okay, someone is asking also about the age limit. No, absolutely not. We do not have age limit. It's not an eligibility criterion. So that's all candidates who fulfill the eligibility criteria, regardless of their age, are welcome to apply for the traineeship program. Apologies. It's true that today with us, minds, and they really wanted to share their experience, but we also have, of course, trainees over 27 years old. Okay, someone is also asking. Okay, I see also people asking about these areas of interest, where to find them. Yes, in your application. So basically, in the first section where you will put all your private information, your name, your surname, the contact details, there is also the field to choose up to 2 areas of interest, first and the second. This is an excellent point, because we do ask you to choose those areas and then stick to those when answering the specific questions in the later section. So there are specific questions where you will have the chance to elaborate on these 2 areas of interest you selected. Okay, I'm also looking at the timing. Which sectors are suitable to apply in addition to, okay, so this is all about legal affairs. So you have this career, you have this area of interest. Okay. Okay. Someone is also asking about the 1-year experience, if it can be shorter. We do have a minimum, so it's 5 months. We do, of course, our first option is the 1 year, to really give the opportunity to our selected candidates to fully live the experience, to have the opportunity to explore all the benefits of EFSA traineeship experience, and also to gain as much experience as possible. Okay, for the policy, I see also for the policy coordination position, which areas of interest. So I think here we are referring to Francesca. I think she was our last testimonial, and indeed there are some some specific areas of interest. In particular, science to policy is one of the areas for this specific part of the organization. Okay, someone is also asking when does our traineeship start? We aim at welcoming the new trainees in October, between October and November. These will be our two big intakes. This will also be a nice moment to be around and have until, normally until the first break, which is around the end of the year. So they will have the first month really for having a nice induction, onboarding. Really, everything is planned for welcoming the next 120 trainees. Okay. I see also I'm interested in enology. Can EFSA provide knowledge in this field? Is there anything related to enology offered? I can tell that there is no specific area, enology, but we do have an area, I would say, linked with nutrition and food innovation, but also food ingredients and packaging could be of interest. So to you that have asked this question, you might, if this is within the remit of your interest, additives, enzymes, flavorings. Indeed, there are these areas of interest. Okay. Do trainees participate in the missions, travel to some event with EFSA staff? Yes, absolutely. Trainees are also invited to units missions. Also, we have trainees going on mission and being the voice of EFSA, spreading the word about what they do, what are the career opportunities at EFSA. And there are also, we have actually had last week, the testimonials here with me can also confirm, we had a study visit as well. We took all our trainees to another institution in Italy, the European University Institute, and they had also the chance to visit the historical archives of the European Union. Someone is asking, so I'm looking at the timing, but it seems that people are, some of you are asking about the working hours and the flexible arrangements. So of course, apologies if we didn't clarify this throughout the session, but you can find also all the information in our frequently asked questions. Trainees can indeed, we are in an hybrid mode, so we come to the office a minimum of 2 days per week, and 3 days we can telework from home. There is also the possibility to telework from abroad, of course, with a limitation of 10 calendar days. This is actually the case of Neil that was with us a few minutes ago. Today is working from abroad, from the Netherlands. So yes, it's possible. It's part of how we foster a healthy environment and how we support work-life balance. Okay. Can this traineeship give extracurricular credits? No, this is something that it's not in the remit of our traineeship program. Nevertheless, if you are interested to learn more about other opportunities open at EFSA, please feel free to visit our career page. There are also other opportunities. And now, guys, I really apologize because I see that we are already beyond the time. So I think I will we will really need to close. But again, please do not worry. If there are any outstanding questions, we will make sure to address all of them, and they will be available to you. Let me just close and remind you that a traineeship at EFSA is really an opportunity to work in an international environment with an extended network of stakeholders. The traineeship lasts for 1 year. We are really a nice place, especially for young professionals who want to have a first-hand experience, participate in plenaries, trainings, go on mission, participate in cross-unit initiatives, and in EFSA events like the summer school, Euphoria, etc. I would say that really working at EFSA can boost your career and can really give a kick start. Just before closing, thank you. Stay in touch. We do hope you found the insights valuable and inspiring. Remember, this is just the beginning of your journey with EFSA. If you have any further questions or would like to explore other opportunities, you can see here in the slide how to reach out. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you to all my partners. Seeing maybe if whether possible. I know we can't be all on camera, but thank you, Ruta, thank you, Brady, thank you, Josephine, thank you, Tina, thank you, Neil, thank you, Francesca, thank you so much also for colleagues answering the questions. Melita, Gabriela, thank you. And please bear in mind there will be the video recording published on the EFSA website in the upcoming days, so stay tuned. And thank you again, and do not forget 29th of April, apply. Don't wait for the last day. All the best. I wish you all the success in your future career steps. Thank you.